All right, I'm just going to do some rapid fire reviews really quick. This is completely unprepped and like a thought I had like 2 seconds ago, and it was like, fuck it. We'll see how this turns out. If this even gets recorded and done here, we'll see. If you're watching this, then yeah, then I was successful. So I watched a bunch of movies recently, and they were not movies that. It's not that I didn't like them or whatever. It was just that they weren't movies that I intended on reviewing. Now, I've never done this before. There's tons of movies, tons of TV series, tons of shit I watch, and I never talk about them. And it kind of bums me out because it's like, I want to talk about this shit, but I don't want to give an entire video to some of these movies. So I thought, oh, screw it. Now I'm just going to have to remember them off the top of my head, like what movies I watched and what. So this might not be the best video here, but I'm going to make it my best attempt here. So first off, we're going to go with Serenity. Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, and Jason Clarke, right? So this is about a fisherman who has been tasked with ending a man's life by Anne Hathaway's character. And I'm not going to say much more about it than that. Now, this movie had been getting a lot of talk going on it because people were like, dude, this goes in wacky places. Like, you have no idea. People are like, oh my God, I just love to watch it for how insane it gets, how ridiculous. I was laughing at the screen. I was like, a McConaughey movie? All these great actors and all this stuff? Like, really? Wow. The trailer didn't seem like that at all. It sounded like a tense thriller. And yeah, I mean, it swings for the fences. And this is that kind of movie that Hollywood needs to continue to keep trying to make. Like, go for it. I've said this a million times, man. I would much rather a film try something different and fail than do the same old shit and succeed. Like, fuck all that. This movie, I feel like the only reason that this movie didn't work for me as well as it could have, because I did like the movie. I liked how ridiculous things got towards the end, but everything's too on the nose. Like, I feel like they didn't trust their audience with figuring out things subtly. Like, everything is very exposition driven, and it's like, oh, this is happening because of this, and this character's this, and it's like, dude, I don't need you to explain the fucking movie to me. Now, for a general audience, you might have needed to, but for me, I can only really watch these films through my own personal opinion and bias and whatnot. When I was watching it, I was like, wow, like, that's a cool, interesting idea. Not something I haven't seen before. I have seen it done before. But that being said, it was the exposition dump. Like, right in my face, right down my throat, and I was like, God damn, man, like, you don't need to do it this heavy-handed. So it was more the execution for me than the idea and the attempt. So overall, I think it's an interesting flick to watch. I think that there's some really good acting. I think, with Jaimin Hansu, however you say that guy's name, I always love him. There are some tense moments. It's definitely some what the fuck stuff, because when you find out what's actually going on, you're like, wait, what? That's where they're going with this? But it gets a teeny bit preachy, and it's driven into the ground by exposition. But that all being said, all right, moving on from that one. On next to Anna. Okay, Anna, written and directed by Luc Besson, and this is a young agent. She's a beautiful young woman who gets recruited, and she is, a government agent for the Russian freaking whatever the hell they're called. And there's like twists and turns, and there's actually some really cool, like, John Wicky, what is he from freaking Transformers? Witwicky? No, John Wick like action sequences, which I actually really appreciated. I dug this movie. It had Luke Gross in it, or Luke Gross. No, wait, Luke Evans. Luke Gross. Isn't that fucking goofy kid from, like, those 90s movies or late, or am I thinking of someone else? It doesn't matter. Luke Evans, thank you very much. Cillian Murphy. It's a cool flick, man. I really dug it. I don't feel like the movie got any attention, but it's got some twists and turns to it I wasn't expecting. The chick is super hot. It's R-rated. There's some really cool action sequences. It's got some espionage. It's got some, some double crossing. I dug it. I was a big fan of it. I was kind of bummed that there wasn't more of a light being shined on this one. All right, next up we've got we've always lived in the castle with Alexandria. Is that how you say? Double D Dario is what I like to call her, and Thaisa Formiga, which oh no, I'm thinking of a different movie. I'll get to this one, but Vera Farmiga is in another movie I watched, which we'll get to next. I'll try to remember that for the next one. All right. Man, I'm spitballing this shit. I'm just going through my list in my head of movies I just watched. I actually rewatched Hereditary twice this week. I'm fucking obsessed with that movie. I just think it is a masterpiece on every level. I love every single second of Hereditary. Just can't get enough of it. That's why I've been watching it a lot lately. Anyways, getting back to the movie we were just discussing, or at least I was discussing. And we have also got Crispin Glover in this, and we have freaking what's his name? Oh shit. See, this is why you gotta take notes, people. This video right here should be like a how to not do YouTube videos. This is a perfect tutorial right here. Just throw this on, bookmark this, share it with your friends, and be like, dude, watch this guy. He's just gonna try to wing it, and he's just gonna jag it all up. But come on, this is why you watch my channel. It's just a free-for-all fuck fest of screw-ups and I was gonna try to pull off some word there that I wasn't really sure was an actual word. So I pulled out of it. Wow, that was a sad attempt at it. But yeah, we've always lived in the castle. This was a book adaptation that I didn't. When I was watching it though, I was like, this has got to be some book adaptation because this is a weird movie, and it felt very novelly. John Wicky, novelly. Yeah, that works. Sure, why not? It was an interesting movie. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was interested the whole time. The characters are all eccentric. You know those movies you watch where secondary characters are all like super eccentric, and the way they act and the way they behave is all just kind of like off kiltered, and you're just like, those are odd characters. But then there's like that grounded centered character that's there to be more of the you in the scenario, of being like kind of calling attention to how crazy and weird people are being. That character just doesn't exist within this movie. So you're just kind of sitting back watching this unfold, and it's this rich family who has lived in the town for a long time, and everyone in town hates him. The father died under mysterious circumstances, and they blame the daughters, played by Double D Dario and Thaisa. And Thaisa is really good in this. She's awkward as fuck, and Alexandria is just this like uber pleasant, everything's got to be magical, everything's got to be wonderful in the moment with her, and she can't break away from that. She's like the 50s perfect housewife throughout the movie, and she just tries to find the good in everything, and her performance is really good. Everyone's performances are really good within this, even the guy whose name I can't think of, even though he's a big fucking star, and I'm going to slap myself in the face as soon as this is over. No, I'm going to think of it before it's over. I think. I don't know. My fucking camera's crooked too, I think. There you go. This is a joke. I'm not uploading this. Yeah, I probably will. Whatever. So Vera Farmiga is in Captive State with John Goodman. And this is a movie that this is like 10 years after an alien invasion. and the entire world is being is now under alien control, and there's some people that are helping them out, and so the poverty line and the you know the wealth gap has drastically increased, even worse than it currently is right now, where like the top 1% are like the top 0.0001%, and everyone who's poor is like uber poor, and they just live to serve these aliens. And then there are these people who want to rise up against it, the rebellion of sorts. This is not the kind of movie you think it's going to be. You think it's going to be some action movie where they're fighting back against the aliens, and it's going to be super thrilling. And this is more of like it's a, I wouldn't want to say a slow burn, but it is pretty slow, to be honest. And I was having a hard time catching the pace, because I guess maybe preconceived notions prevented me from enjoying the movie as much as maybe I would have otherwise. But there was a point in the movie, because this is one of those rebellion uprising movies where everyone's putting together the plan of how to get rid of the overlords, the higher ups within the movie, the aliens. And we don't see the aliens much at all. There's almost zero action. It's just the aftermath, which is not a movie we ever really get to see. We see the aliens invading, and then we see us fighting back against them. We don't see like post 10 years of alien invasion, and now we're under the, not that it hasn't been done, of course, everything's been done at this point. But at the end, I really did like the way it ended. I thought it was cool, albeit not really meaning much in the grand scheme of things. You'll see what I mean if you watch the movie. It's a movie that I'm like, I don't know, I'm very on the fence of if I would recommend it or not. I'm leaning kind of towards no, because I just think that this is for a very specific audience. I think there will be an audience for it. I think there's going to be people who are like, oh man, I really liked that movie. And I could get that. I could get that. If you just bought into the style, and you bought into the pacing, and you bought into that stuff, and it really worked for you from the beginning, and you didn't have any preconceived ideas of what it was going to be, I could see you digging the movie. But I think for the most part, people are going to expect something different, and it's not going to work for them, and they're going to be ultimately let down. So that's a tough one for me to recommend. But that being said, moving on. So what the hell else did I watch? I also rented I recently just rewatched A Few Good Men. I checked that out from the library because I'm taking Aaron Sorkin's master class, and that's like his first movie. So I watched that, and I had to say, man, like, I hadn't seen it in a long time. And of course, the "You Can't Handle the Truth" line is iconic and whatnot, and Demi Moore is hot and all that. But the movie really plays like a play, which I think it was, right? And he's more of a playwright than anything. That's kind of what he knows, what he likes to claim himself as a playwright first. He loves plays, and that's the way it plays out. And it actually kind of feels almost made for TV at times. I was really surprised by that, especially with the director, Rob Reiner. I don't know. It's not that it's a bad movie by any means. It's a good movie. It just, some of the performances, some of the editing choices, some of that stuff, it just felt like either A, I was watching a play that was being filmed like stationary at times, or B, it was a made-for-TV movie, which nowadays doesn't mean a whole bunch, but I'm talking like made-for-TV movies 10, 20 years ago. It just had that feel. And then, of course, there's elevated acting from Tom Cruise and from Kevin Pollak and from Kiefer Sutherland, and of course from Jack Nicholson, and so on. I mean, there's other good actors in it as well, but those are kind of standouts. And then Demi Moore, as I mentioned. But yeah, the way that it was done, I was just like, wow, this feels made for TV at times. So that was kind of surprising to me. And then what the hell else did I watch? Did I watch anything else? I still can't believe I can't come up with the other person that's in that movie. We've Always Lived in the Castle, or whatever it was called. I watched Togo. I watched Togo on Disney Plus. It's a Disney Plus original movie about the story in 1925 of the Nome, Alaska, having the diphtheria, however you say that, outbreak, and the dude goes out and he brings back the medicine, and then the dog Balto got all the fame and all the credit for it when it was really Togo that went out with this dude played by Willem Dafoe. Really damn good movie. I mean, really damn good movie. I really enjoyed it. I actually watched it twice. I watched it once by myself, and then I watched it with my kids. Oh, I also watched, so I highly recommend that if you have not seen it. And you're into those kinds of movies, like a sled dog movie, like an Iron Will or something, but it's better than that. It's beautiful. What a beautifully shot film. Holy hell, it was a gorgeous movie. The cinematography, the look of the movie, Togo, you fall in absolute love with him. You fall in love with Willem Dafoe's character and his relationship with the dog and all that good stuff all the way around. So, really cool movie, and it's an important movie because it fixes a wrong historically. Even though, of course, it's drama, it's dramatized, so it's not accurate to the word, but you know what I mean. But I also watched Warrior. What the fuck am I talking about? It's getting late, guys. It's super late. Shadow, not Warrior, Shadow, which is I think it's Japanese, right? A film that came out in 2019. It's on Netflix right now, and it is about, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, because I actually had to sit back and be like, wait, what's going on? And then it took a while, because the film is really slow paced when it's opening, and there's I don't know what era this is set in, but it's an old school, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and this king, he wants to keep his kingdom, but there's this other kingdom that, of course, wants to come and invade him, and they can't get their shit straight on whether or not they're going to be able to pull this off. And his commander of his army is being, he's kind of trying to take the reins, and then we find out some stuff about him and what's been going on behind the scenes with him, and it gets kind of almost fantasy-like at times, a teeny tiny bit, and then towards the end is where the action starts, and you get all these really cool umbrellas with knives in them and shit. So the fight sequences, which you're expecting throughout the movie, and it doesn't come till the last maybe 30 minutes of the 2-hour runtime. But once the action starts, it really doesn't let up. I don't want to make it sound like it's some big action extravaganza, because it really isn't. Everything very much feels small. It feels like a smaller budget, but it's a gorgeous movie. Everything's shot almost in black and white, but it's not. There's everybody's in color. Everything is in color, but the sets, everything is black and white, which I think is supposed to symbolize yin and yang. There's a lot of yin yang symbolism throughout the movie. They're the places where they train, the fighting grounds that they have. There's they're sitting on a yin yang, and it's, of course, the yin yang is black and white, and the whole film, the whole color palette is in black and white. Every thing on the wall, the floors, all of it is black and white. It's gorgeous. Beautiful fucking movie. So it's great to look at. It's a very interesting story, something that that I don't feel like I've ever seen before, and people fucking love this movie. It was Chris Stuckman's top 10 of the year or something. It's a cool movie, but it definitely drags at times for me. So there you go on that one. Let's see. Did I watch anything else? Oh wait. I think I know who it was. Wait. I had him in my head for a sec. Oh, it's Sebastian Shaw. Or Sebastian Shaw. Yes. Shaw? Is it Shaw? Sebastian? Whatever. Fucking the Winter Soldier. Okay? Oh, spoilers, I guess. Bucky. How about that? Does that work for you? From the MCU. Okay. Yeah. Sebastian Stan. There you go. Guys, it's late. I don't know. I maybe watched other movies. I can't remember off the top of my head, but not bad for right off the top of my head, right? I legit thought about doing this like 2 seconds ago. It's late. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I got a client at like 9 or something, so I got to go to bed. But I don't think I watched anything else, did I? Maybe I did. I don't know. Let me know if you saw any of these movies. Let me know if you even got through this shit. This is one of the roughest videos ever made, but I had fun doing it regardless. I always love just talking shit. Movies. I could talk movies all day. It's just fun. This is kind of what it's like right here. Like you want to know what it's actually like to talk to me about movies. This is about it right here. This is what you got. Because I don't got no notes. I don't got no nothing to kind of keep me focused. Not that this really does a great job of keeping me focused. If you watch my channel, you know what I'm talking about. But this is just me ranting and raving about whatever the fuck I watched this week. So yeah, that was all in the last like week, I want to say. And I think there was another one. I think I rented something else from Redbox, because that's why I've seen all these kind of oddball movies that I wasn't. No, I reviewed that one. Never mind. I was gonna say Paradise Hills, and I'm like, no, I talked about that one. But yeah, I've just been kind of going to the Redbox and just filtering through like what I haven't seen, because I've run out of movies to watch. You know, I watched yesterday. That was a little while ago. I didn't review that one. The Beatles movie. Great movie, man. Really cool movie. I recommend that one for sure. But, fuck, it's funny how many movies I don't review on the channel. But I thought it'd just be fun to just do like a quick fire, fuck it review, and just go for it. And there you go. So I gotta go to bed, guys. It was fun. I got some movies. I got Harper's Island. I should probably do that in a better video. Somebody sent me this. I don't know who, but he said a new sub, and I haven't seen it, so I gotta watch this. And then I also got Rec 4 Apocalypse from Slade Shepherd. So thank you to Slade, who's not watching right now. Nobody is. But I get to do Rec 4 finally. For my Monster Monday continuation. I'll get back to the Rec franchise. And then I also got American Graffiti, which I'll be doing for a subscriber of mine's passing of her father. So we'll look forward to all that in the future, and I'm going to bed. Good night, guys.